Hello, 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 hello. Today we are going to be working on finishing the Huntress sweater. So as you guys saw on my Instagram, and I will give you guys the big reveal soon, the sweater is finished. So in my last video when I dyed it, I washed it after, and I didn't realize I probably shouldn't have done that. The sweater came out pink. Ugh, it is so frustrating. Luckily, Mother swooped in and saved the day, and she bleached it for me the day after I dyed it, and I was able to fix it, which if you follow me on Instagram, you saw the big reveal of what it looked like after it was done. I didn't wash it after dyeing it. I let the dye air dry. So now it just looks all bloodied and dirty. It's great. Today we will be sewing on this piece to the fabric. I'm going to be doing a little something on it to make it so that it's a little, I don't know. This piece of fabric is rather short, and I do wish I had made it a bit longer, but we're going to be sewing it on, and it's going to be great. We're going to figure it all out as we go. You'll work with what you have, right? I'm going to get you guys into position and we will be back. I have gone around and put safety pins, the sewing needle thingies, all around it. It overlaps here, so I don't know if I'll cut it or if I'll sew it and call it good. We will find out when that time comes. Whew, so much blood. Okay. So now I'm going to go through with a needle and thread because the sewing machine might just be a little too complicated for this, and I'm going to go through and sew around it. So I've chosen red thread, and I'm just going to start at the front. It'll be a little complicated at first, but I think that as I continue to go through it, it'll be a little less complicated. Oof, gonna make some long thread. Gonna need as much thread. There we go. And I'm just going to kind of continue going and doing this fun stuff, all the fun things about sewing with a needle and thread. So I'm going to go ahead and sew up half of this and give you guys a progress report in just a second. I ended up completely forgetting to show you guys a progress report, but here it is done. I am not sewing the bottom of it because I'm going to do something about the length of white that's at the bottom. Whew. Man, oh man, am I out of breath for whatever reason. You guys ever just get that out of breath feeling? So I'm going to try to fold the extra length in to the sweater, but not a lot, just a little. So this is what we're gonna do. Fold it in half like that, fold it in half like that, and then we're gonna fold that. Okay, hold on. I have folded the sweater, the length of the sweater in all around, just under where the fabric is sewn. And now I'm going to go ahead and use white thread and a needle to sew that around the same way that I did the red fabric. The loose thread, the reason why I'm doing a needle and thread is I find it to be easier to remove in case I make a mistake that requires a removal of the thread, obviously. So it just is a little bit easier in case I need, or if I decide that I want the length of back for whatever reason, then it's easier to remove the thread faster, which I won't do for things like the pants. I didn't do the pants with a needle and thread because the pants will be permanently like that no matter what I decide. I don't think I'm going to decide to make the pants any different. So I'm just kind of going through, and I'm not really caring that much about how big the stitch is. I'm just kind of going through and sewing. And pushing it in, folding the fabric a little bit, and then pushing it back out to create the stitch inside so I don't have to continue to move the stitch inside and outside. In case you guys know for a fact that like you guys are going to not want to reverse any of this, feel free to use a sewing machine. Absolutely. I'm just not, I just always second guess any decision I make, so I like to have an easy out in case I change my mind about anything. Then I don't have to worry about whether or not it's going to be easier, especially with the type of knit that this fabric is. It's a very wide knit, so and I'm just sticking the needle through. You do have to be careful if you decide to use a needle and thread not to pull too fast when coming through, because the thread can tangle and create a knot. So you would have to cut the thread and either restart the whole thing or finish it there, which neither of which sound all that entertaining to me. Sometimes it gets stuck, which is fine. There we go. And I'm just going through, and I will show you guys the final results. All right, after sewing it up, this is what it looks like. This, I'm just going to use a safety pin to pin together this end. I just don't have one on me right now. I don't mind the look of a little bit of the fabric peeking out, but I think it looks pretty good for my first time ever doing something like this. I hope that you guys enjoyed this little video that I made of, it was basically just a progress report, but I hope that you guys enjoyed it anyway. Now that the sweater is done, the next thing I will be working on is the blue fabric needs to get cut and burned. I'm not sure I'm going to do that on video, just because I know that YouTube can be kind of rare about that stuff. I might make like a little video and then post it on Instagram, but the next thing I'll be doing on YouTube will be she's got a belt and things. I will be making that out of Warbler, in case you guys don't know what that is. It is a stiff, I don't even know how to describe Worbla, but it starts off stiff. It's moldable when you heat it up. So this is what I will be using. I've already cut out the strips for it, so all I need to do is make a video on putting it together. So I hope that you guys enjoyed this, and I will see you guys in the next video. Make sure to check out my Instagram, and I love you all. Mwah!